Hi, welcome to episode 1 of How to Be a Better White Person.
Oh, fun game. Let's play this in reverse. How to be a better black person. Step 1. Pay more attention to the disproportionate level of crime committed by black people before accusing the police of being racist. Step 2. Stop blaming everything on systemic racism just because things aren't the way that you want them to be. Step 3. Stop talking about oppression as if black people are the only race of people that have been oppressed. Jews have been oppressed for millennia and they seem to be getting on okay. Step 4. Stop generalising about white people while disliking generalisations made about black people. You come across as a hypocritical racist muppet. Step 5. If you find it distressing to see your people get shot by police, then maybe encourage your people to comply and not resist arrest. Hey, you probably don't even live in the sort of neighbourhood that requires police presence in the first place. Step 6. While telling the entire world again and again that Black Lives Matter, perhaps show an equal level of concern for the roughly 8,000 black people that murder each other every year. Especially all the children. Step 7. Stop pretending as if your black perspective is the black perspective, because I can assure you there are plenty of black people out there that are tired of your race-baiting bullshit.
Welcome to episode 1 of How to Be a Better White Person.
Oh, fun game. Let's play this in reverse. How to be a better black person. Step 1.
And I'm gonna stop you right there, Dollar Store Paul Joseph Watson. Now, everybody and their mama already done got your 2016 4chan talking points all the way up out of here. Instead, I'm gonna have all of us take a little gander at the rest of your content. Let us not forget that you're the same dude who took Ahmaud Arbery's death and used it to say, friendly reminder, black people still kill more white people every year.
Conveniently missing that these data tables are for arrests. Conveniently missing the fact that we have data that the criminal justice system is very much biased against black people for this exact crime. And also conveniently missing the fact that black people are the most wrongly convicted in general, but especially for this crime in particular.
But you wouldn't know that, mate, now would you? Let us not forget that you're the same guy who also made an entire video dedicated to black people also owned slaves in America. And with the innocence rivaling that of a 6-year-old whose head is actively stuck in the cookie jar while trying to plead his case, dare to say I'm not trying to make black people look bad, I'm just pushing against the narrative.
Conveniently missing the fact that any look into Louisiana history would tell you that race relations during this time were relatively different compared to the rest of the South, which did allow for some black slave owners. But if we take this 10,000 figure as a 100% fact, and we realize that by 1830 there were over 2 million slaves in America, that would mean that black people would be owning 0.5% of all slaves at the time.
We cherry pick numbers and we scrub context from them, but we're not trying to make black people look bad, remember. Now, I would ask him what he thinks about it, but oh wait, you're the same dude that made the argument that the intense and horrible racism of the South that has plagued the South for most, if not all, of this country's history is due to the progress of not wanting slavery anymore. Not white supremacy, not any of the premises by which chattel slavery was built on, like black inferiority, which specifically used skin color as a distinction between slave and free. Not the conservative ideology of the South being hell-bent on maintaining the status quo. Nope, it's because people said they didn't want slavery anymore. Essentially making your argument that if you don't like the racism of the South, blame the people who wanted to end slavery. You see what IQ we're operating on here. Why do women experience sexual harassment in the workplace? Well, they shouldn't have advocated for women to work. Finally, let us not forget that you're responsible for whatever this is.
Remember you're a wumbo, remember you're a wumbo.
Remember you're an asshole. Delete your goddamn channel.
How to be a better black person. Step 1.
And I'm gonna stop you right there, Dollar Store Paul Joseph Watson.
He wasn't being serious, dumbass. He was combating racism and with stupid analogies. You know that, right? Did you watch the original videos?
You tried it. Y'all really need to quit with this defense because it's stupid. This whole it's a joke thing is always hilarious to me, considering it's never funny. But if you want to die on this hill of his talking points being jokes when they're the exact same talking points that have been used against black people for decades now, be my guest and you can get blown out too in the process.
He stated that stop getting dreadlocks. Dreadlocks are not a culture. They're part of hair. Hair has no fucking culture.
Sure, it's just a hairstyle that one particular race of people tend to get all the damn time. But please, and I encourage you to make a response video, do explain to me how a proportionate response to, hey white people, stop getting dreadlocks, is, hey black people, start telling your people to comply with police because that's the reason why they keep dying. Remind me who tends to use that talking point again? And hey black people, stop complaining about very real oppression that is a documented fact because Jewish people. Who tends to use that talking point again? And hey black people, stop complaining about policing because you kill each other. Who tends to use that talking point again? It gets worse for you. When you realize this dude literally said that the South got racist because of the people who didn't want slavery. And that he used misleading FBI statistics in the wake of Ahmaud Arbery's death to remind people that black people still kill more white people every year. I wonder why he would do that. And when you realize, if you look through all of his channel when it was still up, from doing things like citing Thomas Sowell, to this video where it was literally a woman going, but Black Lives Matter, right? Because some black people pulled a gun on her, to this video where he literally takes a clip of Whoopi Goldberg for some reason, saying that it's impossible to hide the fact that there were white people who owned black people, only to say, but there were black people who owned black people too. And then using misleading evidence to make it seem as though it was anywhere near on the same scale. All that to do what? What do you think he was trying to accomplish? So yet again, I ask you to please tell me how you see all that trend of behavior and tell me he wasn't being serious. Especially A, considering I literally didn't even respond to the video that he actually made. I instead pointed out the very pattern of behavior that I'm talking to you about right now. And B, considering the fact that he literally added me in a video of a bunch of black people reacting to his original video in order to say, oh look, they agree with me. And none of them were laughing, funnily enough. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you saw me calling out his racism as worse than his actual racism, then you have some thinking to do.